Are you having trouble saving money? You're not alone. The U.S. personal saving rate has been falling for the last 2 years. In the rise of inflation and interest rates, most people are looking for new ways to save. There's no perfect way to save your money though, but with a combination of different tools and practices, you can save more money than you think. So let's talk about the 5 key things that you need to focus on. Step 1. Set a goal. Goal setting is everywhere in our world. We set goals for our career, our health, and just our lives in general. So determine what your money goal is, or how much you want to save, and how quickly you need to save. But thinking about this goal is not enough to accomplish it. What you need to do is write down your goal. I heard once that you're 72% more likely to achieve your goal if you just write it down. But you need to write down your goal somewhere where you'll see it. Ideally, every day. Perhaps multiple places. Ideas can be your cell phone screensaver, a note on the fridge, or even the door. It doesn't matter where, but write it down, and the more times the better. Make sure that goal is specific and give it a deadline. I want to save $10,000 in 12 months. Great, this is measurable. You know you'll have achieved this when you have $10,000. Next, you need to get a goal accountability buddy. Effective goal setting requires consideration of the system that surrounds you. Too often we set the right goals inside the wrong system. If you're fighting your system each day to make progress, then it's going to be really hard to make consistent progress. Is your hubby not on board, or do your friends not support you? Having a chat with loved ones to get the support you need to meet your savings goal. You need to align your environment with your ambitions if you wish to make progress for the long term. It's like being on a diet but surrounding yourself with junk food. I think we both know that goal might not succeed. And research has shown that you're 2 to 3 times more likely to stick to your goals if you make a specific plan for when, where, and how you'll perform this behavior. So let's move on to that next. Step 2. Keep track of your goals. Keeping track of your progress is super helpful when it comes to achieving goals, including money ones. Too often we get focused on that end achievement and we forget to celebrate along the way. Figure out the best way for you to track how much money you are saving. Perhaps it's a Google spreadsheet, an Excel file, a phone app, or even good old-fashioned pen and paper. This way you can actually calculate what you've saved and how much more money you need to meet your goal. Try breaking your goal down into smaller trackable targets. For example, if you're trying to save $10,000 over 12 months, that works out to be around $833 a month. This might seem large, but then break it down by day. It's around $27. Now track and see if you can save $27 a day. For example, make a coffee at home, save $2. Cancel Netflix, save $3. Eat leftovers, save $3. Don't buy any clothes for the month, save $9. And earn a side hustle, earn $10. Step 3. Where is the money going to go? Is this extra money that you want to gain? Think about putting that money into a new bank account so you can track your progress from zero. But make sure you don't touch this money. I suggest putting this money in a high interest savings account. So you're essentially making money on money. Make that money work for you. For example, in month 1, put some of that money you saved into a high yield savings account, perhaps getting around 4 to 5%. And by the end of the year, you'll have even more money. So that's money that you didn't have to save, and essentially you earned it using your original money. And don't forget to set up automatic transfers so you remember to save that money. Now again, there's other places where you can put your money, like stocks, but just make sure you know what you're doing. And I still like to put things in safe areas. But you can invest in things like interest funds. But whatever you choose, ensure that you know the risk and do your research beforehand. Step 4, budget. To do or not to make a budget. The choice is going to be yours. Of course, I love budgets, so I'm going to recommend that you follow one. I think it's a great way for you to visualize your wants and your needs and track how much you're saving. Following a budget can provide clear overview of your income and expenses, enabling you to make an emergency fund, and it can reduce your stress and anxiety related to finances, and it keeps you organized. Knowledge is power. You've heard that, right? Well, a budget keeps you in the know about how much money you have, how much money you've been saving, and how much you might be overspending. In other words, budgeting puts you in charge of the driver's seat and you can determine what you can afford and when you can afford it. If you're trying to save money, you'll more likely need to cut back on your wants or reduce your fixed expenses. When budgeting, it's important to distinguish between the differences between the needs and the wants. Needs are necessary for life, such as food or housing, while wants improve your life. If you want to cut spending, start with the wants. And when budgeting, cover the needs before the wants. Wants are things like going shopping and buying a new sweater, ordering takeout, or going to the movies. And the last step is step 5, increasing your income. Now, we've talked mainly about saving, but another key aspect that we have to consider is increasing your income. So, this is usually harder and easier said than done. Remember, we're only trying to save an extra $27 a day, so there are lots of different options to make this money. Is there something you can sell? Or perhaps can you get a small side hustle? You can start things like pet sitting, dog walking, babysitting, and even more so, try matching your side hustle to your passion, and that way it won't seem like a job. Well, that's the end of our top 5 tips on how to save money fast. We started by talking about setting a goal and ensuring that you see the goal. We transitioned into talking about your progress and then figuring out where you're putting this new pot of money. And finally, we talked about tracking your money, potentially in a budget, and increasing your income. So, what are you saving for? Is it an emergency fund, a special trip? Let me know down below in the comments. And remember, you really only need to make small changes that compound over a year. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm still a brand new channel, and getting support from people like you means a lot. I hope you reach your money goals, and until next time, Tracy.